Hello and welcome to all. This stage is a key rendezvous for the general classification favourites. With the Col de la Biche, the Grand Colombier and the Mont du Chat, there are no less than 3 all-category climbs on the menu. With a total of 4,600 metres of vertical gain, there's no doubt that this stage is crucial in the fight for the yellow jersey. Acceleration at the head of the peloton. There will be 2 and 1 point for the mountain standings.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit. I reckon it's walled up behind. Nobody seems to want to launch the chase. Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy to attack. You were first over the top of the climb. That's good. You're on your way to the top spot of the white jersey standings. It's great. Keep going, kid. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. He retakes the virtual lead of the overall standings. He won't have been out of his jersey for long. Here's the positions over the last climb. I reckon it's walled up behind. Nobody seems to want to launch the chase.
The next difficulty is listed as a Category 4. There will be only 1 point to be scored towards the best climber classification.
You should perhaps be waiting for the group behind. It will be easier if there are several of you. Here's the positions over the last climb. You're coming up to the intermediate sprint. Keep your eyes open. You've won the intermediate sprint. Well done.
The riders are beginning the ascent of the first all-category climb of the day, the Col de la Biche. Just over 10 kilometers of effort, with an average slope of 9%. There will be points of the first 10 to the top of the mountain pass. The first will pocket 25 points, while the 10th will only pick up 1 point.
You are 2 kilometers from the summit. Watch your opponents. Keep an eye on him. He's the best climber in the breakaway. The breakaway threatens the overall standings. He's decided to get his guys to put their foot down. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
The riders will climb the Grand Colombier by its steepest side, nicknamed the Directissime. The riders will come up against a slope at an average of 22% in the middle of the climb. A moment of true bravery.
Guys, the most difficult percentages are next. Courage. It's the same for everybody. We are the virtual leaders of the white jersey standings. Good. Keep it up. You are 2 kilometers from the summit. Watch your opponents.
Here we go! Lâchez rien, allez! Super! Keep going!
Keep an eye on him. He's the best climber in the breakaway. You've just taken the top spot of the climber standings. That's good. Keep it up.
The intermediate sprint is approaching, but there is little chance that the candidates for the green jersey will be able to score points at this stage of the race.
The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton.
Before beginning the final all-category pass, the riders must first scale the Côte de Jongieu, classified as third category. The Mont du Chat, with its 9 kilometers of slope at an average of over 10%, will surely decide the day. Even if the finish is not at the top, it will be difficult to make up ground on the descent leading into Chambéry. The first rider to the top of the pass scores 25 points in the polka dot jersey standings.
He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standings. He's got his teammates riding because in front there's a rider who's dangerous to him in the overall standings.
The gap between the favourites group and the front is 30 seconds. And the descent is on. At the bottom of the descent, there will be a little over 10 kilometers before the finishing line in Chambéry. Only 10 kilometers left for the head of the race. The road to Chambéry is now totally flat. Five kilometers for the lead rider. His lead is slim. Anything can still happen.
He's got his teammates riding because in front there's a rider who's dangerous to him in the overall standings.
At less than 3 kilometers from the finish, no one has managed to gain the upper hand. If no one attacks, it will be decided in a sprint. Less than 2 kilometers from the finish. The red pennant is in sight for the front of the race.
The breakaway is 1 kilometer from the finishing line. Jersey will not change any more today. The leader is ahead by enough points.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't prove me wrong. Hi guys, let's start the briefing for this stage. It'll be a very demanding day for everyone.
Hello, everyone. With a finish located at ArnZ-zz, there is no doubt that today's winner will be a climber. The route, however, upsets custom, because the climb will be via the Col de Sarenne, and not the 21 hairpin bends that have made the reputation of ArnZ-zz. The mountains don't scare him. He's already trying to escape.
Up the pace, guys, to prepare for the intermediate sprint. Watch out. You'll soon have no more energy to attack. His team is at full throttle. They have no one at the front.
The time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary.
Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall. You're coming up to the intermediate sprint. Keep your eyes open. You've won the intermediate sprint. Well done. For the mountain classification, you're the best placed in the breakaway.
The first rider to the top will score 10 more points towards the climber standings.
You are 2 kilometers from the summit. Watch your opponents. You should perhaps be waiting for the group behind. It will be easier if there are several of you. You were first over the top of the climb. That's good. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. When going downhill, the aerodynamic position is useful to increase speed without expending energy. Guys, don't forget to protect our leader. Communication is important. That's why we have team comm.
The Côte de Sievoz now waits the riders. Ranked as a third category climb, there will be 2 and 1 point for the mountain classification.
You are 2 kilometers from the summit. Watch your opponents. Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy to attack. There's not a lot going on. If this was a video game, I'd advance the clock to the last difficulty.
Tension will start rising. If the Col d'Ornon should be a formality for climbers, the next installment will be of a totally different nature, with the ascent of the Col de Sarenne.
You are 2 kilometers from the summit. Watch your opponents. Keep an eye on him. He's the best climber in the breakaway.
Hang on, keep
Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall. His team is riding for the overall standings. The front of the race will struggle to widen the gap.
The advance of the lead group should be enough to carry it to the end. One and a half minutes lead for the head of the race over the favourites. If today they are to climb it, most riders first discovered this mountain pass in a descent during the 2013 Tour de France, a downhill ride that took them to the foot of the Alpe d'Huez for a second ascent. The breakaway is being reeled in. It will be difficult to withstand the return of the yellow jersey. The end of the climb follows a small, narrow road. Staying up front will be key in order to react immediately to any attacks.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit. The time gap with the head of the race isn't changing, lads.
The riders up front have a 1-minute lead on the favourites group. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey. The lead rider has 30 seconds on the favourites.
The breakaway is 1 kilometer from the finishing line.
He's amongst the leading riders this year. He tops the standings and will receive the traditional honours.
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is you didn't prove me wrong. It's the final stage, guys. It'll be a very demanding day for everyone. Several mountain passes and a summit finish await. We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is...